Happy Friday. Welcome to a summer Friday edition of the PHLY Eagles Show, brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. I'm Zach Berman. That's Jamie Lynch, who might be the busiest man at PHLY. Jamie has been on the Anthony Gargano show this week. He's been on the John Mark show this week. He's been coordinating a fun activity we have next week. Like, there is not a piece of that building that Jamie hasn't touched this week. So, Jamie, I appreciate you taking an hour plus overtime to join the PHLY Eagles show.
Of course, anything for you, Zach Berman. Look, this wouldn't be a job of passion if it wasn't fun. And, we got some fun stuff ahead next week. Really looking forward to what we have coming. It's kind of like the what if week, where we're going to rank the ultimate what if moments in Philadelphia sports. So it's been a lot of hard work from our production staff and Chris on our socials. Everybody's thriving, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to it. So it's a job of passion. It's a good time.
Well said. Last Thursday we did the what if draft centric episode with Fran, where Fran went through some of his old scouting reports. I'm curious because I'm impressed by the spreadsheet you've put together. Across all sports. So not it doesn't just have to be Eagles, but it could be Eagles if you want. What is your favorite what if that's going to be discussed next week in Rank Week?
I mean, I think the most painful one, and I think the one that would have kind of changed the trajectory of the 5 years after it, because A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith might not be here. The one I think about all the time, and I think a lot of Eagles Twitter is with me on that one, is the Justin Jefferson, Jalen Reagor situation. When you add in Chris Spielman kind of mocking the Eagles, how it changed the trajectory of their draft process a little bit. I think it's a fascinating kind of what if. So to me, that's the one on the forefront of my mind. There's some other great ones we'll have next week that we'll be unveiling, but that's the one. Like surface level, it might be a little too easy, low-hanging fruit, but that one I think is interesting because I think it changed so much.
Yeah, I always enjoy a good what-if question. Next week's going to be fun. Make sure everyone checks that out on all of the PHLY shows and on allphly.com as well. But this is a Summer Friday, like I said at the top, and so longtime viewers and listeners know what Summer Friday means here, which is it's a chance to fill out the grid. If Bo were here, we would call it Tick Zach Bo. But I think Eagles Grid, Eagles Summer Grid is probably a good name for it. And for the uninitiated or for those who might not remember, what we have is three categories with three categories in each category. That was not explained well, but basically there is would you rather, convince me, and predict the future. And then for each of those, there's Eagles, NFL, and wild card. So it gives us a chance to touch on a variety of topics. It gives us a chance to obviously Eagles news, but NFL news, but also some fun non-Eagles discussion and some non-NFL discussion as well. So I believe, is this the first time you and I are playing this? I've done this with Rich a number of times and Fran.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know if we can call it, how about Lynch Zach Bo? How about that? Or Lynch Zach Toe? I don't know. I'm trying to, we'll workshop that name. So you get to go first here on the grid. Do you want, would you rather, convince me, and predict the future?
Let's go, since it's kind of a cousin of the what if, a would you rather. Let's start there.
And would you rather Eagles, NFL, or wild card?
Let's go. Let's start with the birds.
Okay, so would you rather, for the Eagles, Jahad Campbell have a great year or Drew Makuba have a great year? And so these are obviously the Eagles' top two picks, but what you have to consider here is the depth at those positions, the value of those positions, what a great year looks like, and what it could mean for the trajectory of that player's career.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to hear your answer on this. Mine is Jahad Campbell, because last year we saw the power of two great linebackers on this team. We didn't know what Zach Bond was even at this time last year. It was hopefully he can be a decent player. Little did we know he was a Defensive Player of the Year finalist that changed everything. On his side was Nakobe Dean, and the depth behind Jahad Campbell I worry about, I think, more than I do the depth at the safety position. Not to say the depth at the safety position is long and amazing or anything, but I have confidence more in the surrounding pieces, the Quinyons, the Reed Blankenships, even throw a Sidney Brown or my boy McCollum, I just think there's some competency back there. Whereas the linebacker position, I fear without Nakobe, the depth there, like Trot Jr., I think is a good spot player. I don't know if he's ever going to be a full-time starter in this league. So I think Jahad Campbell, not only living up to a first-round hype, but bringing that level of what we saw last year out of two linebackers really excites me. And I think that's more important than Drew Makuba, sliding in and stealing the job and making you feel really strong about the safety position.
That's a fair answer. Now, I think that Drew Makuba having a great year raises the level of the secondary in a way that's like hard to, because Reed Blankenship, who can we call him our colleague here at PHLY, affiliated with PHLY, coworker.
We didn't get the wedding invite, but that's okay.
Yeah, true. Maybe
congratulations to the Blankenships.
Yeah. I was about to say maybe the next one, but that's not a good way of saying it. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Maybe the next party. How about that? Yeah, the next Blankenship party.
Well, they have another ring party coming up soon, so maybe
there you go. Yes, true. Next week. So I think that the safety play on this team, it's probably the weakest area of the defense. You can maybe say edge rusher, but safety. Reed Blankenship's is a solid to good player. And then you don't know what's next to him. Losing C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's a big absence in that secondary. If Drew Makuba comes in and he can be a high-level player at safety, then it doesn't just help you this year in that secondary, but it kind of gives you confidence going forward that you can have that second safety who, I don't want to call him replacement level, but like you don't need to try to find a stud at safety if Makuba's a stud. In Jahad Campbell's case, like I'm confident in the talent. It's the type of thing where maybe it doesn't show itself year one. You would like the versatility that he can bounce on the outside if needed. But the big thing for me at linebacker is that Zach Bond is already like an all-pro player, right? And so, look, there's nothing wrong with having two high-caliber players at linebacker because you have to play two of them. And like you mentioned, we don't know Nakobe Dean's status yet.
I'm not counting on him at all.
Yeah.
I mean, for right or wrong, like he's going to be early December, best case.
Yep.
And at that point, I don't know. I don't think it's worth the long-term risk.
So then you have Trot Jr., Smile Mondin Jr., but I think you can get by with a second linebacker next to Zach Bond in this defense and be okay. If you have deficiencies at second safety and Reed Blankenship's your top safety, that concerns me a little bit more, and especially in this defense. So, I think you can cover up that linebacker next to Bond more than you can cover up the safety next to Blankenship. I could be wrong, but I just thought that was an interesting framing device for which one is more important. Now, I think if Jahad Campbell's a blue chip player, it changes the complexion of the defense for the next decade. But I think for this year, I would want to see some competency at safety.
Yeah, I think part of my answer, I feared the recency bias because, if you asked me this any other year, I would say you could probably get away with one great linebacker and one okay linebacker. Last year, we saw all around really good linebacker play, sideline to sideline, good in coverage, good against the run. And I think I got a little bit spoiled by it. And, I got that juicy taste in my mouth and I want more of it. I want competency at both linebacker positions. So I think there is a degree of recency bias on my end.
Fair enough. Moving on. Convince me. Would you rather convince me or predict the future?
Convince me.
Convince me. Eagles, NFL, or wild card?
Let's go wild card.
Wild card here. Okay. Superman movie. Are you in? And, of course, this has a bit of an Eagles peg because Superman character is an Eagles fan.
Yeah, what's his name again? I'm forgetting it off the top of my head. But I thought of you with Superman I believe it was last Sunday morning. Me and my wife are big fans of CBS Sunday Morning, and
Yes.
all of a sudden I see CBS Sunday Morning going to the Arden Theater right there in Old City,
Oh
and
yeah. Okay.
I was like, oh, Corn Sweat, yeah, David
Yep.
Corn Sweat, is that his name? He's a real
His name's
beefcake.
David Cornsweet, and
He
he's
went to
from
Shipley.
Philly. He went to Shipley. Like he grew up in Lower Merion. Went to Shipley, and then went to University of Pennsylvania and the Juilliard School. So
Clearly a real
he
dummy, yeah.
yeah.
Corn
So
Sweat, Corn Sweat.
let's see, corn.
The chats.
Yeah. Corn
I
sweat.
think
Okay,
I think I said Corn Sweat.
corn sweat.
Um, so I'm watching CBS Sunday Morning last Sunday, and I see him go to the
Great
Arden
show.
Theater, and I was like, what is this about? And sure enough, it's where David Cornswell, or Corn Sweat, whatever if his friends call him that, got his first acting gig. And I was like, wow. So they sat down with him in the Arden Theater, and they kind of recited some lines from his first paid professional gig. He still lives in Philly, according to CBS Sunday Morning. Apparently Superman is too woke now, and people are getting triggered about it. So the groundswell around it, it's not going to be a movie I rush to the theaters to see, because I'm not like the biggest superhero guy. I do watch it typically when my wife leaves, because she has no interest
Yes.
in it. So I will watch it, just probably not in the theaters.
So yeah, I haven't seen the last movie I saw in theaters was probably Oppenheimer. And
Wow.
long
I just
time
recently
viewers.
watched that. Yeah.
Great movie. Great movie.
Great flick. Yeah.
Bo rolls his eyes when I say that because I say I like historical movies and yeah, and
I
Bo
mean, it's
says
a pretty
it's
major,
I agree. Bo says it's not
pretty major.
It's based on true story. Yeah, I enjoy
Yeah.
that. I know it's not a
Do you know-
documentary, but it's
You
fun.
want to go down a conspiracy theory, a little rabbit hole here? So there's
Yes.
if you believe in life on other planets, there's a theory out there. Not saying I believe this, but the theory is we're watched by other species out there, and your planet isn't really put on galactic watch until you first discover the nuclear kind of breakthrough. So there's a thought in the extraterrestrial world that Earth then was put on the galactic kind of radar when we. So there you go. There's your historical tie-in.
I'm impressed. I mean, I would like to think that I'm more intelligent than I come off on the show sometimes, but that one is beyond.
I
Is
think about
beyond my
space way too
comprehension.
much. Yeah.
I
So anyway,
respect it.
sorry to get on. Yeah.
Yeah. But I gotta say, of all superheroes, Superman's my favorite because he's a journalist, right? So like, you got Clark Kent. Like, it's the kind of thing where it's like, I too could be Superman, right? I mean, I I've worked at a newspaper before. I mean,
You have.
It's probably false equivalency there, but so I've always
Don't sell yourself short, Zach.
I've always associated with Superman because I guess more Clark Kent than Superman, but
You have a lot of the
appreciate-
same features, the dark features, dark
I
hair.
appreciate
You're well
that.
built.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to be able to fly and have X-ray vision and have strength, but yeah. So that anyways is why Superman is my favorite character because I appreciate Clark Kent.
But we can all agree Bruce Wayne is the superior superhero, right?
No, there's nothing. We don't need to get in this debate, but is there anything super about like?
Well, that's why he's better. He's just a man, and he's great. Superman is like infallible, except for one little piece of rock. Like,
that's what I like
cheating.
about Superman is that like
it's cheating, Zach.
No, I mean he's from a different planet. He's a different species, but he can do a great lead and inverted pyramid story, and I'm sure he can knock on doors. He can do the man on the street interviews. So yeah, like I'll be honest. The first time that I walk into the Washington Post office in 2008 on 15th and L in Washington D.C., did I think maybe someone, maybe I'm Superman. I'm glad Bo's not on this show here. I would never hear the end of this one.
And the other element of it too is, James Gunn, the director of this, did Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a pretty fun series. So I think there's hope there that Superman is going to be revived. and it's not apparently not as cartoony as the previous iterations of it, where he's not, like taking off the glass, like he's just kind of Superman on planet Earth. So we'll see. I'll see it in time.
All right. So let's round this round out with predict the future. The future: Eagles, NFL, or wild card.
NFL.
Predict the future: NFL. Who makes the Super Bowl from the AFC this season? So you're thinking Chiefs, Bills, Ravens are probably the favorites in that crew?
Yeah, those are the three. It's so chalky to say Chiefs. It's probably the safest bet. I'm gonna go. Josh Allen just got married. His wife is coming off of a big movie, Sinners. It's gonna be the year of the Allens, and the Bills finally get past the finish line.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. So Bills,
I mean, the Chiefs is the most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What do
appreciate
you
the Bills
say?
fan base. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cliche to say the Chiefs. I typically go the Chiefs, but I actually think I'm going to pick Ravens this year. I like that Ravens roster. I like some of the moves that they've made. I think that secondary is really strong. I still think they can get to the quarterback. I mean, Lamar's a stud. Derrick Henry. I think Isaiah Likely is a player is likely to have a bigger year than people think. I think their receivers are more competent than they've typically been. So I'm going with the Ravens this year. I've long been an admirer of John Harbaugh as a coach. John Harbaugh got hired in 2008. Think about that.
Is that the same year as the Washington Post?
Yes, and good job, because I remember pitching a story.
You guys started your careers at the same time.
Yeah, I pitched a story I on this special teams coordinator who became head coach, and I remember sending in the pitch, and they're like, "Why are we having our intern write a story about the Baltimore Ravens coach?" Right? there's some qualified NFL writers on this staff, so probably learned then, don't. I was a little ambitious. My first day, I handed the editor 20 story ideas that I had for the summer, and I thought he was going to be like, "Wow, I'm so impressed by your ambition." He was probably like, "Do we need to get security here to get a restraining order against this guy?" Yeah.
Am I going to have to tell this kid no 20 different times every week?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I had no shortage of ideas.
That's great.
The great thing about the summer grid is that it allows you to stay on pace for the show. Is that it's 3-3-3. So the A block you get 3, the B block you get 3, the C block you get 3. If you want to know whether Jalen Carter is the best defensive tackle in the NFL, make sure you stick around after these messages. I want to tell everyone about Empire Today, okay? Because just like your favorite team, which is presumably the Eagles, if you're watching this show at 2 o'clock on July 11th, needs a home field advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. Part of the great thing about watching this show is that you're getting expertise on this show. You're not getting someone who is talking about the Dolphins tomorrow and the Seahawks the next day. No, you're getting people who focus on the Eagles, just like at Empire Today. You're not getting someone who's doing sinks yesterday and stocking light bulbs tomorrow. Empire Today is the best bet for new floors. They have their flooring experts bring the showroom right to your home. Pick the right flooring and the right colors for your space. See how it looks with your furniture in your house. With Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHLY listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code PHLY. Yes, you heard that right. A $350 discount with code PHLY. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/PHLY for full details.
All right, Fran, here's an impression of me from yesterday.
Okay.
That's me walking into my house, sweating like a pig because it is feeling like a sauna in there.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. This time of year, this Philly heat, it's no joke.
So what do I do? Do I go jump in a lake? It's not going to happen. So I just got a bunch of ice, held it, rubbed it on my face, stuffed it down my shirt, stuffed it down my pants. Only way I could think to cool down.
I mean, stop being the stereotypical dad, though. Turn on the AC. It's time to fire that thing up.
I don't want to be. I want to waste money. Be energy efficient.
Well, look, instead of icing yourself out or jumping into a lake, you could just check out Pico's energy-saving rebates. They've got deals on Energy Star cooling equipment that actually work and cut down on your bills.
So, no more ice down my pants?
No, you could skip the ice, save the ice, and you throw in my drinks when I come over.
The same ice?
No, we'll change the ice up.
Okay, fine. That's what's up.
All right, well, just head over to pico.com/ways to save. They've got tips for everything. Heating, cooling, lighting, you name it.
When monuments get destroyed, we can give up. Or we can take it back. On August 6th, we rebuild.
Look at that. I did not know that was going to be in there. How about that? August 6th. Major announcement. Should we reveal for the audio listeners? Or should we just say you got to go to YouTube to see what that is?
Yeah, let's throw the people a bone here and hook them in. Yeah.
Yeah. So August 6th is the Ospreys. And that's a Bo Wolf production, along with many other Julia, who does an amazing job. But you can imagine the preparation and the interest that Bo has in the Ospreys. But there's a little hint in that video for anyone who wants to really try to dissect it. Look up hidden messages or clues in the video. So if you're an audio listener, check this out on YouTube. If you're a YouTube viewer, don't rewind now, but you can rewind at the end of the show. Maybe leave, come back, juice those numbers a little bit more. We'll take that. But yeah, that was a cool addition. I didn't realize that was going in.
I knew it was going to be played, but I hadn't seen it yet. So Julia was also teasing me, saying I have this from Bo, but we're going to surprise Zach with it. So that was my first time viewing it as well.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I try to keep a detailed rundown for the show. That was not on it. Let's get to a super chat here real quick before we move on. From Chase Daniel Plainview. And Chase, as always, we appreciate your contributions to the show. In Oppenheimer, do you agree with the personnel security board when they revoked Oppenheimer's Q clearance? Chase, this is a loaded question for a Friday afternoon in July. I would say that I defer to the Department of Energy on these matters. I try to be an expert on the Eagles and maybe their security clearances, but certainly not the but the Department of Energy, I believe, ruled a few years ago that Oppenheimer it was wrongly revoked, the security clearance. So I'm going to defer to the Department of Energy here because I imagine in 2022, I think it was, they were dealing with more facts and information than I had at the time. But Chase, nonetheless, I appreciate the $4.99 contribution, and please feel free to continue providing these super chats whenever you're interested.
Grace likes your I defer to the Department of Energy drop.
You know what? I tell my kids, and I say this, is that you can either be an energy giver or an energy taker, right? Like I tell them, when you walk into a room, you want to bring the energy. You don't want to deflate no one wants a guy like someone's like womp womp, right? That's the you want to be you want to be the Tigger if you think about the last lecture from Randy Pash, right? So
you don't want to be an energy vampire if you're a What We Do in the Shadows fan. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And that's somebody that sucks other people's energy out of the room. You don't want to be that person.
Don't want to be that. You want to bring the energy. You want to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. Speaking of the thermostat of the Eagles defense, I'm going to assign this one here because this wasn't the thumbnail, and I don't want to get too deep into the show without hitting on the thumbnail and the headline. So convince me. And you sent me something in Slack the other day from Jeremy Fowler on the top defensive tackles in the NFL. So I want to I want to get this in here for the show. Convince me, Jalen Carter can be the best defensive tackle in the NFL. And for those who remember the first year of the PHLY Eagles show, Jamie, in I believe our first post game, coined did you coin the Rhino nickname, or did you popularize the Rhino nickname that year?
I brought it to our merch department.
Yes. Okay.
I think it existed at Georgia. Like, I didn't create it. It existed prior to him being here. But I got it out to the merch department, and there's a great shirt if you want one. Yeah, the Jeremy Fowler piece is interesting because it talks to a lot of executives around the NFL. So you get a good sense of the internal NFL feelings on these guys. And I can't argue with their top three, which was Dexter Lawrence 1, Chris Jones 2, and Jaylen Carter 3. The main reason most people had Jaylen Carter 3 was just a lack of body of work that the other two have more of. And basically a little bit behind the sack production. Dexter Lawrence had 9 sacks last year. Chris Jones had 5. Jaylen Carter had 4.5. If you extrapolate his play from the playoffs and look forward to this year, he seemed to be getting to the quarterback more. He's a big, like, almost sack guy. He's always disrupting pockets. He's always getting his hands up. I'm not taking away from those other two, but I think they've already peaked. I don't expect Dexter Lawrence and Chris Jones to get better at this point. They kind of are what they are. I think Jaylen Carter still has the opportunity to get better. If he can add a couple more tackles for losses and, let's say, 2.5 more sacks to his body of work next year, I think we're having a discussion at the end of the year where it's like, damn, are the two best defensive tackles in the NFC East? Has Jaylen Carter eclipsed Chris Jones? I think those are not nonsensical conversations after this year. So I think he's right there behind, let's say, Chris Jones. He warrants the same amount of double teams as those guys. If we get Nolan Smith or Jalix Hunt, somebody really emerging on the edge that has to give that offensive line a little bit more of a one-on-one thought, I think Jaylen Carter could absolutely explode.
Yeah, I'm with you there in terms of the upside. I think that's a good way of framing it. If you look at body of work, certainly Dexter Lawrence and Chris Jones have a greater body of work. It doesn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, rather, if Jalen Carter becomes like the best defensive tackle in the NFL. The name I've used is Ndamukong Suh. He reminds me of Ndamukong Suh. He's that type of player. He's that type of force for the Eagles, and he's only going to continue to get better. And when you talk to teammates about him, and they talk just about like the untapped potential, and you heard, what Jeremiah Trotter said this year on, I believe it was on WIP, when he said that like Jalen Carter is still learning the game, right? And that's true. He has great football intelligence, but there is a part of him that's still learning the game. So entering year 3, it's hard to say best, but this is my prediction. When you and I speak on July 11th next year, Jalen Carter is the highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. I think the Eagles give Jalen Carter a contract extension, probably March, April next year.
What are you thinking? Annual average value 48 to 50, something in that range? Like, what are we talking here?
I was thinking 40.
40.
Yeah, I was thinking 40, which is pretty incredible for a defensive tackle. And I think
I would say so.
Yeah, or for anything. It's right. Yeah.
It's good work if you can get it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm expecting Jalen Carter to push into those limits. So then here you go. So you get to choose, would you rather or predict the future?
Let's go with the would you rather.
Would you rather, and do you want NFL or wild card?
Let's go NFL.
NFL. Would you rather play Madden or the college football video game? Ooh. And the peg here, of course, is that college football 26 came
just
out this
dropped?
week.
Yeah.
And my son
has young Reed Berman already played? Does he already have a dynasty going? Where is he?
Yeah. So it actually, as a father of and as someone who grew up playing NCAA football, now it's college football, I gotta say I'm a little disappointed in Reed. I love him more than I love him. I mean, he's my best friend in the world, Reed. Okay, he's my best friend.
Did he start with a blue blood program?
No, he goes with the Road to Glory. and not the dynasty. So he starts as the high school player who then gets recruited and works his way up the depth chart, as opposed to the college coach. And to me, the fun is recruiting, right? Like the fun is building the program. Reed, he's like he's on Penn State. You know, he wanted to go to Penn State. He became Penn State's RB4 as a freshman. He considered transferring, and he's just enjoying. You know, the road to glory. To me, that's a little too self-centered,
Selfish?
right?
Yeah.
Team, right? So I want you to be a program builder, not the face of the program, right? And so, but he likes road to glory. He came, you know, he goes to a summer camp where they're on the bus and he came running back from the bus, came right open, you know, he downloaded the game and playing the game. Yeah, as shark calorie. I don't know if I should say that. Said, is he getting NIL
What
money?
up, Shark Gallery?
Yeah. Look, if you're a 5-star recruit, if my son's a 5-star recruit and is going to Penn State, he better be getting that NIL money. Yeah, he better be getting Gavin McKenna money.
Yeah.
Right.
As
So,
Cousin Grace says, I
yeah.
mean, how could a 7-year-old not understand the value of recruiting and building a system? I mean, how dare you?
Yeah, Cousin Gracie's 8 now. Okay, he turned 8 on June 15th. So if I gave too much information, yeah. I mean, 7 years old, road to glory is fine. 8 years old, you start that.
Should know better.
You should put other people before yourself there, right? So, yeah, love Reed. He's my best friend. I tell him that every day. But let's focus more on building a team than being like the marquee player.
Yeah.
So then let's.
Did you have this? I imagine you actually had this conversation with them, which is very funny.
I have not had it yet.
So
but
you're letting him enjoy his video game
my
for a couple
comments
days?
now are more like you gotta get off the video games. You gotta do your summer reading. You gotta read every night, that kind of thing. And he's at that age now where he's like, Dad, reading's boring. And I was like, reading's boring. Think about writers, man. Right?
Reading put a roof over your head, Reed.
Yeah,
Have some respect.
Seriously. Well,
So I was just going to ask a question about that. Oh, speaking of summer reading for kids, does I assume a young Zach Berman was a Matt Christopher fan?
Oh yeah, big time.
Is there a Matt Christopher of today's generation going?
Nothing
you always
that's
say
adequate.
it's You always say it's easy to write children's book. Why doesn't Zach Berman become the new Matt Christopher?
Trust me, Emily's brought this up to me. Emily's like, "Why aren't you writing young adult children's books?" And I was
love
like,
Matt Christopher.
I was like, with what free time, right? But yeah, who knows? Maybe something down the line. Yeah. Chase Daniel Platinview says Reed could save time on reading by asking ChatGPT to summarize books. I certainly hope not, Chase.
No, AI is killing the polar bears. Reed is an environmentalist. He doesn't want to put that strain on our world.
He's a bit of an environmentalist. He likes to recycle. So yeah.
There you go. I knew it.
So here you go. Here, predict the future. You went with NFL. Do you want Eagles or do you want wild card?
Let's go NFL.
NFL. Who is the Eagles' biggest threat in the NFC?
This is a good question. I think the obvious answer. I think there's 3 on my mind. It's the Washington Commanders. I think it's the Detroit Lions. And the Los Angeles Rams, I just can't write them off yet. I know they kind of have their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, Matt Stafford is still one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC. They have a young, talented defensive line. I think the easy answer would be the Lions run it back, but what I saw from Jared Goff in the playoffs, like, no. Jaden Daniels terrifies me as a 10-year problem for the Eagles. Man, I gotta put my foot down and make a decision here. I'm gonna go with the Commanders.
Really?
I think they run it back. Yeah, I want to be outside the box here. I didn't want to go Lions. I was really close to saying Rams. But I'm gonna go totally outside the box and say the Commanders. I think they
Okay,
run it
you and
back.
I
It's a good
are not on the same wavelength with the Commanders. I just think the Commanders will have a slight regression this year. We will see. But yeah, I think the Detroit Lions. I thought they were for most of the year the best team in the NFC last year. Obviously, did not work down the stretch. Tough loss to the Commanders. I still think that's a really talented team that's well
It
coached.
is.
The Frank Ragnow retirement
That was a
cannot be
big
dismissed.
deal.
High,
Yeah.
high level player. But yeah, I am eager to see how the Lions look this year. And of course, they're replacing both the offensive and defensive coordinator, so that will have an effect on them. But
Who's your outside the box team? Who's like
my
somebody
outs
that could be hanging in the shadows that could surprise you?
Yeah, good question here. So the outside the box team for me would be the Minnesota Vikings. And
Ooh.
I know that they were really good last year, but there's a quarterback change. JJ McCarthy hasn't started before. I like JJ McCarthy when he was at Michigan. I think, he, even though he's a first year starter, he's a second year player. He's been in that offense. Kevin O'Connell has maximized different quarterbacks there. That's a team that has a lot of talent. You mentioned Justin Jefferson. Uh, Justin Jefferson's there. They keep adding to their defense. Isaiah Rodgers, former Eagle, is going to have a role there as well. There's some continuity there as well with the coaching staff too, which I think is beneficial. So give me the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow, you big you're buying JJ McCarthy stock, huh?
Buying JJ McCarthy stock. Yep.
I went back and forth with him at Michigan. Sometimes he looked like just a dog, a winner, like, and then other times I'd be like, yeah. So I don't know, and it's probably why I didn't have him in my consideration. He could go any which way, but it's an interesting one.
So when we return, you are going to find out whether Jamie thinks training camp, spring training, or summer league basketball is the most fun to talk about. I don't want to say watch, discuss. So stick with us after this break. Let me tell everybody here about our good friends at Parks Casino. We all know Parks Casino is my grandfather's favorite place to go and play. But what if you are not in the casino? Well, the place to go is the Bet Parks Casino app. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the Bet Parks online casino app. Check out brand new casino games like Huff and More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen, a Bet Parks exclusive. It's the only app I ever use to play all my favorite casino games in the palm of my hand. Play blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, and Cleopatra online slots. Play hot online slots based on your favorite streaming shows: Walking Dead, Squid Game, Breaking Bad, and Peaky Blinders, and all your favorite classic casino games from wherever you are. New users get up to $1,000 casino bonus, a $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparks.com and download the app right now and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, must be 21 and older, I should say, and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for Bet Parks. You love to play, you love to win, you bet Parks. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And now let me tell you about the only place to get tickets with the Game Time app. The Game Time app is awesome. Whether you're looking for, I'm going to a concert next week, boom, Game Time's got you covered. MetLife Stadium just hosted a semifinal of the FIFA World Cup games, and you can get 10% off exclusive zone deals for FIFA World Cup matchups. I would love to go to some of those games, but unfortunately the home life doesn't always allow that. But whether it's Major League Baseball this summer, the Phillies are going to be hot, making a home stretch run here down as the season winds down. Concerts, NBA, if you're find yourself out in Vegas, look it up. You could probably get some summer league tickets. So Game Time is the place to be. It makes getting tickets faster and easier, and prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. They have killer last-minute deals with one of my favorite features, the view of your seat and the lowest price guarantee. I've used Game Time many times out at Wrigley Field, at Citizens Bank Park, concerts I'm going to. The app has a customize your spot feature. You can do so much with the zone deals, last minute tickets, easiest place to find and buy MLB tickets for every kind of event in your area. And last-minute deals, you can save up to 60% buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. The lowest price guarantee, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, just create an account and redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
So a few follow-up questions here, Jamie. Number one, what concert? We all want to know.
I am going to Fish.
Fish. I've heard of them.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of your GA brethren were Fish heads back in the day.
I think
They're
the
not-
producer of our show enjoys this.
Yeah,
He enjoys Fish. Yeah.
I enjoy them. I'm not like a Fish nut, but a lot of my close friends, cousins are. So I like going. I think it's my 5th Fish show. So yeah, I'm going. It's gonna be a good
I
time.
couldn't tell you a Fish song. What is a Fish
No?
song? Yeah. What's your
Bouncing
favorite Fish
around
song?
the room. So they were never like a radio mainstream. So I
Okay.
didn't expect you to know one. Bouncing Around the Room was probably their biggest, like, I guess hit, maybe. But you know, they're a jam band, so a lot of their stuff can be 25 minutes long. You know?
Sure.
I'm more of a Goose guy in the jam band scene. You a Goose guy, Zach?
I don't know what that means either. Goose guy.
It's another band. They're coming around in October at the Man. Goose. I
Yeah.
saw them twice last summer. They're awesome.
Did you know Bryce Matthews was promoted by the Houston Astros today? Their top shortstop prospect. He's coming up. He's going to take Jeremy Pena's spot.
Yeah. If you and Emily, find yourself making a nice tequila cocktail out on the deck a little later, throw on Butter Rum by Goose. It's good.
Okay.
Good weekend kind of summery vibes.
Is that what your hat is?
That
tequila
is a
cocktail?
transfusion. Actually, that is vodka, ginger ale, grape juice, and lime. That's a country club. It's a big golf drink. So that's the 1912 club in Plymouth Meeting, and they had a transfusion hat. I love transfusions. It was a natural fit.
Very cool. I was out to dinner last week, and I was like, Emily, look at the drink list. I was like, Emily, look at this. They have Howie Roseman's Mezcal on here, Phosphoro. And she looked at me. She's like, A, she didn't care. And B, she's like, I've never seen you get so excited about it. I'm like, no, I'm not like drinking it. I just think it's cool. It's like Howie's Mezcal is on here, right?
We went to an event.
Yes.
We got some delicious steaks and mezcal from Howie himself.
Yeah. In addition to doing everything at PHLY, Jamie knows everybody in the city, right? So, yeah, Jamie, you get on an event with Jamie. It's like, remember I met you here and here and here. Yeah. So Jamie is well connected. The second thing
Social butterfly, Zach.
We might have had this conversation before, but when you're reading the ad, it pans to the entire backdrop. So world's most photographed. What is that?
So that is an old Addy poster. It's a BBC poster from I think it's a National Portrait Gallery exhibit they did. My wife is a huge Elvis guy, and that is him getting ready for a concert. Basically taking a selfie in the mirror. So that was one of the exhibits. So that's Addy's poster. That right there is the poster from Pearl Jam Bad Religion final show at the Spectrum, which I was in attendance at during the Phillies World Series. And then that right there, Mr. Berman, is the Preservation Jazz Hall Band from New Orleans. As you know, I am a big fan of New Orleans and Preservation Jazz Hall Band. So, this is kind of like our movie or our music kind of postery section. On the other side of the basement, I have my sports. Basically, Zach, as you probably know, our lovely wives are our interior decorators of the house. And all my stuff, she said, like, yeah, the kids' playroom / video game, all that stuff goes down the basement, and you can hang up all your stupid sports stuff down there. So I got
Okay,
the
so that's your
basement.
room.
She got the rest of the house. Yeah.
Okay. What I know about Pearl Jam is there originally was Mookie Blaylock, right? That's the
Yes.
extent of my.
Yes.
I can't tell you a Pearl Jam song, but
Not one.
but I can tell you all the teams Mookie Blaylock has played for in the NBA. So
You couldn't
whether
name
that's
one
good or
Pearl
bad.
Jam song. No.
Not. I mean, if I heard one and you said, I probably I'm not like. There's probably a song I'm familiar with, but I couldn't tell you right now a Pearl Jam song. No.
That's
No.
When do you in the car? You're just podcasts.
Yeah, just
sports
podcasts.
Yeah.
I listen to all the
Is-
PHLY sports shows.
Is there ever a time where you throw on music or no?
when my kids
I
are
know
in
you're not
there.
a big. Okay. And what do they
Yeah.
listen to?
So Reed right
They
now
kids
likes Kendrick
pop?
Lamar. Reed likes Kendrick Lamar,
Oh, nice,
and
Reed.
and Sloan likes Taylor Swift. So
Who doesn't?
Yeah, so I listen to them when they're in the car, but otherwise, yeah, no, all sports podcasts.
Gotcha.
I can't tell
Is
you
Emily a
any.
music person?
Yeah, she's a music person.
Okay.
But not music I'm interested in. But I can't tell you any Pearl Jam songs. I can't tell you the
Better Man
Minnesota.
would probably be the one that you
Okay.
most know, I guess.
I can tell you the Minnesota Twins top prospects though, if you want. Like, so,
Let's talk about the album 10. It's one of the greatest rock albums ever, Zach. Go.
yeah. Don't.
Oh, Jeremy.
I-
yeah.
Jeremy. Okay.
Jeremy spoken.
That's my future brother-in-law. That's the only thing I know. All right. Here you go. Would you rather convince me or predict the future?
Let's go predict the future.
Predict the future. The last one left here. Wild card. What do the Phillies do at the trade deadline?
Ooh. Your buddy Matt Gell put out a piece the other day, just yesterday, saying they're really looking at the AL Central. And it kind of sparked up my pipe dream scenario. Do you want my pipe dream or do you want what I think is realistic?
Both.
My pipe dream is Stephen Kwan and Emmanuel Clase from the Guardians.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Now, the problem with most outfielders that appear to be available are the majority of them are left-handed, which is not what the Phillies need. They need a right-handed outfield power bat, which just doesn't appear to exist. Emmanuel Clase is one of the best contracts in sports. So I am willing to offer up Aiden Miller and Mick Abel and either an Escobar or a Taiit with another lower-level pitcher. And if you can 2-for-1 from the Guardians, that is my dream scenario. I don't think that's the most realistic scenario. I do think they're going to get a big bullpen piece. Duran from Minnesota, who you just mentioned, Jim Salisbury actually brought up to me last week when filling in for Anthony's show. And then I've started to see Duran's name mentioned more and more by Passan and Gelb and others. So I'm starting to think maybe there's a little bit of smoke to that. But I think their big move is going to be a bullpen piece. I think Kepler's going to get DFA'd or traded away.
Wow, really?
I think, yeah, that's just my gut. I think he's about to get Whit Merrifielded. I think we're going to see Justin Crawford in the near future. Outfield is a little tougher. I'm a gambler. I'm very dumb, so I would go get Luis Robert Jr. from the White Sox because they're going to have to eat some of his money. You're buying him at an all-time low, and I hope it's a change of scenery type of situation. So we'll see. I mean, Jaron Duran from the Red Sox, but some of these teams, Zach, as you know, with the trade deadline now and the wild card standings, like, are these teams sellers or buyers? Some still don't know. So this might go down to the wire.
Yeah. Look, I'm with you on Quan and Class or Class A. If there's any way you can get Buxton and Duran, that would be ideal. And I know Buxton's injury history worries people.
Yeah.
But Buxton is, when he's on, he is so talented. So that's where. But I do like the outfielder closer package, and I'm willing to give up anyone in the system other than Painter. You know, if for that type of move the needle, because I think this is the Phillies window right now, and I think if you're getting that combo, you're getting someone who is starting for you, in the outfield, not just like it's not a rental, but someone who's here beyond this year. So you can actually map out like a 2 to 3 year window there with that player. So I would be aggressive in that case. I would
Same.
package Aiden Miller, and I would package Mick Abel if it meant getting Buxton and Duran, and then I would package Abel and maybe not Miller, but somebody else there to get Quan and Clase.
Yeah, I think it's as you said, I think the window is now. Baseball's weird. You just got to get hot at the right time, and I still think they have a core that can win a World Series. With the starting pitching, it's ridiculous. And if Painter comes up and joins the club, you can put essentially 2 starters in the bullpen once Nola gets back. So you can really bolster your bullpen in a massive way if you get one of those back-end high-leverage guys. It's just the outfield. But I want to see Crawford up here. And, you can't keep him in AAA forever.
Sure. Would you rather convince me?
Would you rather?
Would you rather? This is your wild card here. Training camp, spring training, or summer league. And so I know summer league maybe isn't the same as training camp or spring training, but preseason basketball doesn't count, right? And so it's for all intents and purposes, you're covering summer league, right? So I guess rank them, and or like which would you rather pay most attention to?
Yeah, it's tough. I think summer league is so. I was on my honeymoon with my wife down in St. Lucia in Barbados.
I hope with your wife. Yeah.
It wasn't a solo trip, and it was the summer of Jahlil Okafor, and late at night I was staying up and watching Jahlil Okafor summer league games because I thought that was the pick. I was really excited. Should have realized.
I don't blame you.
He was pulling him off the court for defensive purposes late in the Final Four run. I should have taken note of that. So summer league is tough to evaluate because it so depends on the pick. Like once VJ Edgecombe left the games, I have no interest in watching these. If VJ Edgecombe is playing in these games, I'd probably put NBA Summer League 1. Like, remember the summer of Ben Simmons in Summer League? Like, that was like must-watch TV. Training camp is tough because it gets there. You get so excited that football's back, and then there's a lot of nothing for a couple weeks.
Sure.
Couple position battles to pay attention to. Spring training I love just because baseball's back on your TV. So this is a long way of me saying I probably put spring training 1. I put training camp 2, summer league 3, but that is malleable depending on how high of a draft pick the Sixers get. It's kind of a cop-out answer, but I think I like spring training the most.
Yeah. So I would actually put spring training the least here. Now I love when baseball's back. I find spring training to be like the least important of this. Like there's the in the sense that like spring training is fun to watch, I suppose, but you read nothing into spring training. If a guy has a hot bat in spring training, it doesn't foretell anything for the season. Yeah.
That's probably infected me though a little bit. Is going to spring training games is so enjoyable that I might have weighted it heavier.
Yeah. So my spring training experience is in covering the games, and they're like
Mine's
they're boring to
drinking beers
cover
in the outfield at Frenchie's.
Yeah.
So a little bit different.
I remember my 25th birthday covering a Baltimore Orioles New York Yankees spring training game in Sarasota. And I remember the pitching coach for the Yankees, I believe his name was Larry Rothschild. He cut me off on the way cut me off on the way down there. Look, there's the pitching coach. And it was my birthday. And I told the story on the show. And so I stayed and I read a story. And I wrote a story, actually, I believe, on Greg Golson, who was a Phillies first-round pick back in the day. But then was working for, I was at the Star Ledger at the time. And then I went, there's a place called BJ's Brewhouse down in Florida. And they have a dessert called the Pizookie. And so the longtime viewers of the show know this story.
Pizookie?
Pizookie. It's like a soft-baked chocolate chip cookie or any kind of cookie you want. with like ice cream. It's my favorite dessert. And I ordered the Pazuki to go, and I bring it. And I'm staying at the Spring Hill Suites in Tampa, and I get to my hotel, and I say hello to the woman at the front desk, and she says, "What do you have there?" And I say, "It's a Pazuki," and she says, "Oh, I love a Pazuki," and for the life of me, I don't know why I said this. I said, "Would you like this?" And she said, "Sure. Yeah, I would love that. Thank you. That's so nice of you." And so I gave her my Pazuki.
And you hadn't touched it, right?
No. I had. This was like my
An
treat
untouched
for my
Pazuki?
birthday. This was my treat for my birthday. So my 25th birthday, I am in a hotel room in Spring Hill in Tampa, Florida, and the thing I was going to like savor that night, right? Like my reward for covering this spring training game, writing this Greg Olson story, was going to be this fresh, warm Pazuki, and I was just like it can't, something's just like
Sure.
and so I was like, "Would you like it?" Right? And because she said, "I love Pazukis." And I said, "Would you like it?" She said, "Sure." Yeah, that's great. And so I gave her my Pazuki.
Zach,
if
I
my
would
wife
never
was
have
watching
taken
this-
your Pazuki.
oh man, I mean, but yeah, that is the that's
Is there
that's my
is there
Pazuki
ice cream
story.
involved with the Pazuki? Is
Yes,
it's
there's
warm?
ice cream.
Oh
Yeah, it's a
man,
warm
Zach, you can't
Pazuki
give that
with ice
away,
cream.
man.
And if you get it in the store, it's in like a cast iron, skillet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so good. And yeah, so my 25th year was a great year. I moved back to Philly and all that, but my 25th birthday was memorable because I did not even get to enjoy dessert that night. Yeah,
The
it's a tough
Pazuki
one
that
there.
got away. Well, you're a
The
good
Pazuki that
man,
got
Zach.
away. Thank you. Thank you.
She should not have accepted that Pazuki from you though. You can't take that.
Yeah.
And plus, you're
So
like, no offense to you, I don't think you're this type, but you're trusting a stranger with their food, and like, how do you know it's not eaten or licked or
well, it was like
stuck?
stapled. It was stapled, right? Like
Okay.
the bag was stapled. I gotta say, like, it would be a really uh, I know there's some like creeps out there or some real jerks out there, but the level of detail you would have to go to get a Pazuki, mess with the Pazuki somehow, staple
Yeah,
the
but like,
bag
you
back
could just
together.
like maybe you're driving back to the hotel and you just want
Yeah,
like a little finger spoon of
yeah.
vanilla ice cream off the top. You know what I mean? Like,
Then go to the then go to the they go to the hotel, offer your Pazuki up, think that she's gonna take the Pazuki. There's so many steps here. Like, uh, I can't put my head in the mind of someone who like does these crazy awful things, but like I don't know what the bigger presumption is. Is like that she's gonna accept the Pazuki, that she's gonna like Pazuki, B, she's gonna accept the Pazuki, or C, that like why would you get the Pazuki to mess with? But yeah, it was, but
such a funny word too, Pazuki on top of it all.
Google Pazuki. It's like a famous dessert at.
If you're just
at
giving away a
PJ's.
slice of cake, this story isn't nearly as good, but it's
No,
all about the
no.
Pazuki.
I mean,
Yeah.
So that is my Pazuki story. Make sure everybody sticks around for overtime. And once again, I butchered. I was supposed to tell you what you're sticking around for.
Yeah,
so my
Julie
fault,
was a little
Julie.
quick on the mood for you.
No,
mute
I
button there.
screwed that up. I was going to say for Jamie's last answer, we find that out in overtime. We are in overtime here, and so process of elimination. You're at convince me, and this one, I was up middle of the night last night, couldn't fall asleep, and was fiddling around on the TV, and I put on the quarterback documentary, right? And so I want to ask you, what's your favorite NFL reality show? Quarterback, Hard Knocks, All or Nothing?
I was a Hard Knocks devotee in the beginning. Like a lot of other people, I started to fade off. I actually am going to go with the Hard Knocks in season. I grew
Okay, I
a
like
little, I don't want to say tired of the training camp stories because it's still an excellent show. But like so much of the attention is paid to these guys that don't end up contributing or making the team. So I like the in-season Hard Knocks more. I haven't watched quarterbacks yet, so I can't really speak on that one.
Okay.
But the Hard Knocks in season, I think, is a really good look into the stars, the locker room, the coaches, and you get more applicable kind of intel on your team or favorite players from the in season than anything else. So I'll go with Hard Knocks in season.
Okay. Yeah. So the Eagles will be on the All or Nothing. So the Amazon All or Nothing run, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the Eagles are on. Or is it Hard Knocks in season? No, it's Hard Knocks in season. It's the division,
It's
right?
the NFC
So,
East in the in
yeah.
season.
So that's a good one, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Eagles on that. Obviously, the Hard Knocks offseason was too great because it'll never come back because of the Giants telling us all that Saquon
Joe
stuff.
Shane, you ruined it.
Yeah, the quarterback quarterback one was fun. Is fun as well. You really get a good behind the scenes of the players' lives. Joe Burrow's fun to monitor. I probably didn't need another year of Kirk Cousins if I'm being honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
I got you, Kirk. But it's fun being around Joe Burrow. We don't need to hold everyone on this Summer Friday for too long. We do have a contribution here from Polar Jam in the chat. Polar Jam, with an Ospreys date set, will ZB start to practice shotgunning beers? In the Super Bowl locker room, I saw them shotgun beers. So,
have you ever shotgun? You've never shotgun?
I've never shotgunned a beer. No.
Have you ever beer bonged a beer? Those crazy
beer bong.
Syracuse
I played
days?
beer pong. What's beer bong?
Beer bong, like
beer bong.
like a funnel
I'm like
with the
I
hose.
was 18 going on to 38. Oh yeah, no, never done that either. Yeah, I was 18 going on to 38. Like I admit it. I mean,
if you ever went to a Dave Matthews Band concert in high school, you would have seen a million beer bongs.
Yeah, look, I wasn't cool enough to go with Julia to the Dave Matthews Band concerts, right? I mean, she was having too much fun with other people. I was.
No keg stands at Syracuse? No.
No, I was more like the conversationalist, if you will, right? I wasn't the life of the party.
Well, I've done enough for both of us, Zach.
There you go. But my Dave Matthews story. Oh, cool. The little Friday anecdote thing.
Yeah.
Is, I lived in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Oh.
And
it's where they started.
They first performed at this place called Miller's, which is if you're familiar with Seaville, it's or Charlottesville, the downtown mall is what it's called. And there was this bar Miller's, and I used to go, and I would because. Now, I think people went because of Dave Matthews, right? I went because they had the best jambalaya you can imagine, okay? Like, I mean, I was hooked on this jambalaya. So about once a week, I would go and I would sit there at the bar eating jambalaya. And this is not the type of bar where you're like watching, college football. And there's like, this is more like they're playing music and that kind of thing. And so I remember like they're chatting me up one night, like, what kind of music? I was like, I'm not really a music guy. I just really like your jambalaya here, right? I actually wonder if it still exists, but it was called Miller's, and they had terrific. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Miller's in Charlottesville, and I wonder, Miller's Charlottesville.
Yeah, Miller's downtown, 4.3 star on Google.
Yeah, and let's see if they still live music and food. Let's see if they still have the jambalaya on here.
Did you ever talk to Chris Long about this? This
is a fun reveal here.
Because Chris
Long, I see House Chili. I see Lobster Bisque. I see House Caesar. Come on, where are you going? Let's get jambalaya here.
It's got to be on there if it was that good.
Handcrafted burgers, fried fish, sandwiches, hot dogs, dessert. I do not see.
Oh no, Zach.
It must be when I moved. Maybe I was the only one getting the jambalaya.
They were like,
Lawrence
the one
jambalaya.
guy that came in every Thursday is
Yeah,
gone. We
exactly.
don't need
They're
to
like-
have this on the menu anymore.
They're like, who is that? The real creepy guy who came in every Thursday and had
With a
jambalaya.
newspaper, a legal pad, and asked for the jambalaya.
Yeah.
No menu, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was. I remember
pretty
that.
funny.
I used to have the jambalaya. If you ever talked to Chris Long, ask him about the jambalaya at Miller's.
Yeah.
Jamie, this was a fun show. I always enjoy when you hang out with us here on the PHLY Eagles show. This concludes a fun week on the show. It also means we're 1 week closer to training camp. So I have good news for everyone here. Next week is the last week of shows before training camp. So
Wow.
that means starting the following week, you are going to get months and months and months and months of live football talk, right? We no more, the end is in sight. This is the hardest part of the PHLY Eagles show calendar, and the end is in sight. And so next week's going to be a fun week. We have rank week. We have what ifs. We will also finish out the position previews. I have some stories coming out next week, including one on Nick Sirianni that I hope everyone checks out from some work that I've done this summer. So you can find that on allphly.com. Make sure you're diehard. Also, like I said, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, leave comments. I will read all those comments, and I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. As always, Julia does an amazing job. We thank Julia. We thank Jamie for filling in. I'll be back on Monday. Until then, if Bo were here, he would say, as always, we love you. I will say, we'll do better on Monday. Thanks for watching.
We all silly like the mayor.